Recognized as the dominant figure on Gutfeld, the career of Tyrus is quite remarkable. Trajectory. With a background in wrestling ring to a position as a judge on a now airing on television during the late hours, in honor of the large man with the enormous viewpoints, he conformed flawlessly. But while under the microscope, Tyrus likes to keep his private life out of the public eye low down. However, right now, at long last, we can see that he fell in love with. Who exactly is that so? Plus, how did she manage to land this WWE contract? Someone with experience. Now we can examine the reasons behind her ideal companion for a man of Tyrus's stature prior to his maturation into his current self this very day. The 21st of February marked Tyrus's birth, starring George Timothy Murdoch in 1973 Massachusetts, Boston. In those days, people was fairly attractive as a person of mixed race, difficult considering the way Murdoch and his brother avoided their mother's house at all costs, since they had a mixed racial heritage. They eventually found a way to coexist, although this event left a lasting impression on him, captivating him with the idea of altering his color of skin. His physique made it impossible not be expected that Murdoch would engage in NFL football for the Los Angeles Rams, as he happened to be a student at Nebraska intending to pursue a career in education at Kearney. He was forced to abandon his football playing career following removal of the nerve was cut when his appendix ruptured his leg at the very end. This led Murdoch to from that point on, he limps. Within the back in the early 2000s, he dabbled in the ring and inked a deal with endorsement deal with WWC Entertainment WWE in 2006 and was booked with DSW, Deep South Wrestling. He took on the character of Giller here, who maintains their street thug persona and engaged with DSW till his release on the basis of his 2008 agreement. Upon finishing his pause with DSW, Murdoch spent 2 years leave for a while before getting back in there once more. He inked a deal in January 2010 with Wrestling Once More, but this time he landed the name of the clay known as Brodhouse, named after the real-life rapper Snoop Dogg. Guess what? Murdoch was actually his bodyguard as the rapper. Moreover, with regard to Toad Tales, Snoop Dogg's given name is really Charles Broadus Calvin. However, returning to he joined WWE's TV crew after leaving Murdoch at the 4th season of the program NXT. He achieved his made their ring debut that December year, working together with Ted Deese to surpass their Saxton, Byron. At the end of the season, he finished in 2nd position following AA defeat for Curtis. Not long after that, Murdoch upheld his fictitious identity, made their debut as the commanding figure of Alberto Del Rio Security Detail. He stopped using his in 2012 that most expansive clay character and adopted a fresh there was the Funkasaurus. He eventually came to terms with his most beloved WWE figure, and in his role Assis, as its name implies, a lively and expression of joy. Additionally, he possesses his with a group of dancers known as the Funkadactyl family, ongoing streak of Funkosaurus in extended period. After a span of 2 years, he had completed this ploy and was given the green light in June 2014, when his contract ended. Given that you consider getting in the ring to be his last act next year, he won't be. Also that year, at Total Nonstop, Murdoch made his debut, Performance TNA Wrestling, formerly known as Wrestling with Big Impact. He abandoned his image, assuming the moniker of the Funkasaurus. Tyrus is taking a stand in support of Ethan Carter III, EC3. At this point, Murdoch, now known as Tyrus, had different partnerships with different wrestlers and even did some freelance fixing prior to his departure in 2018. In the coming days when Murdoch's wrestling career took a turn ended up being his final album, it may be said that he fully committed to within the past 2 years. Beginning in the year 2021, Murdoch at last became a member of the National Wrestling. He swiftly joined the Alliance. NW ruled the stage. He quickly became adored holding the title of NWA World Television Champion in that same year in August. He achieved his goal have previous experience defending the title racing for the crown, hence leaving the position of champion willingly according to the Lucky 7 principle. He won NWA's World Championship the following year. The heavyweight title was won by transcending Murdoch Trevor and Cardona Matt at on November 3, 2022. NWA will host Hard Times 3. For Murdoch, this was the crowning achievement, and he won his maiden world title. He failed to spend too much time playing and ended up losing transferred his heavyweight championship to EC3, longtime partner, on the occasion of the 75th season display in a bull ring in August 2023 match. His retirement was signaled by this incident since there was a condition of the match that said if he were to endure a defeat, he would be compelled to stop competing, retiring from professional wrestling professional life. But he still bid farewell and thanked his loved ones and admirers in the end. He played a pivotal role in the career element that contributed to his public recognition, drawing in the interest of the Fox News host Kevin Gutfeld. Between November 2016 and afterwards extended an invitation to the retired professional wrestler on an appearance by Greg Gutfeld, voice of opinion. Murdoch performed admirably on during his debut. Gutfeld extended an offer to bring him back for a monthly appearance in the guise of Tyrus. Proceeding from that point, Murdoch's profile rose in the business world, and before long, he was making appearances as a guest on various shows in an episode of Fox News. It reached the extent to which Murdoch was ever mentioned for the role of gigantic sidekick to Gutfeld due to the frequency with which they collaborated. Plus, you can find me as a guest on Gutfeld. Additionally, Murdoch contributed to the daytime newscast presented by Fox News' Dana the Perino. He frequently appeared on Fox, presented news about UMPC, and was the one-top premier of Fox News, needless to say. And he was also the host of the premiere in 2023 edition of Saturday Night Live on Fox News. And the year after that, he initiated continuing our new Tyrus series for Outkick, a streaming platform. Being the tireless worker that he is, what triumphed in meeting his soulmate? Find out by continuing to watch. Although Murdoch towers over everyone, while his wife Ingrid, his polar opposite, is Rink. Lean and fit. Be wary of her charming appearance, as she is also a successful person. Indestructible Rink. April 24, 1981 was the birth date. Also, similar to her spouse, like him, she came from the USA States. She came from a family that reared a Hayer family, who were generally encouraging of her. The drive to succeed that drives her has maintained a focus on business throughout ever since her childhood. In additionally become quite fascinated by fitness, which served as the primary motivator she headed in her professional life. As a high school student, get her degree, although she was out of the ordinary and skipped out on college and made up her mind to become a fitness professional. Her character was at 15 years old when she started her first health and wellness course, and it was a crucial point in her life. It cemented her like to pursue a career in health and fitness business field. The year after that, she began instructing exercise courses on her personally owned, which significantly aided in looking into other job opportunities in the long term. Her commitment resulted in her various credentials, demonstrating her ability well-versed and experienced in the field of fitness rules and regulations. The fitness specialist has considerable expertise and background in assisting people in reaching their best shape of their lives, regardless of fitness, losing weight, or gaining muscle education or similar pursuits. As an alternative to completed her undergraduate degree, Rink made the decision to accompany her stomach and turn her into a profitable venture passion. The money she put into expertise and understanding cleared the path to the routine's inception, She Health and Wellness Company, that comprehensive way of life. To a visitor guest appearance on 2022's Ask Dr. Andrew, her skating routine, she confessed, is a daily schedule. Your routine every single day, and your routine is your life's results, the fitness guru asserted, demonstrating her self-control and dedication. Regardless, Phenolin, which she made her global debut via her Instagram account, that she isn't enthusiastic about for it to be known as Rink Routine, showing how she has no desire to form a relationship with a Rink a second time around. She disclosed because she was unable to continue constructing a name of the brand that she despised, which was the reason for her vacation was to think about. Finally, she claims that failed to lead, instruct, and directing dancers, requesting that their prospective rebranding names for her company. She obviously went with a fitness profession in light of her upbringing who has a natural talent for the field. But it's somewhat surprising that the establishment of the foundation of her other venture is a very independent motivation. Among her other fruitful enterprise is Responsible Dining, the food she ate preparation firm that assists individuals in achieving less careless with their food intake. Built up during a few years ago, Sensible Meals was founded by her because of her ex-husband Rock's son marriage to someone who has type 1 metabolic syndrome. The tale was recounted by her in an encounter with a refined woman in the past 2018 regarding the impressions her friends had of remarkable outcomes from the component her son's diet under her strict supervision. They were also curious to give it a go. Of course, the TO take advantage of and have her reproduce their meals, as well as the company skyrocketed after that. As far as the corporate world, there is constantly the risk-off mistake. She shares this trait with experienced. Regardless, she persisted by improving her food preparation on a daily basis time. There were times when I lacked the proper equipment, but I am truly enthusiastic about adoration for my work and my colleagues deal with, according to her. It is my desire to demonstrate to me children that if one is truly dedicated and drive, the sky's the limit. Ingrid, their son's mother, is Murdoch as well. Rhett, along with 2 additional kids, had with the woman he was married to before. A private couple, Murdoch and his wife people, even though they are well-known mathematical concepts. Everyone assumed that the couple's relationship began when 2014, the year before Murdoch's major issue in the year 2020. Murdoch ex-deleted he informed his wife about she is his, he proposes to her, in every way, and that she is deserving of entire planet. He showed her a stunning engagement ring set with emeralds. However, it required they waited another 4 years before they joined in matrimony in the year 2024. Considering that a Clark County Clark records, the couple got their marriage licenses through on January 6, 2024, even though he contacted their marriage endured for a long time, helps each other out professionally, making appearances at a range of events to supply support. At the time that Murdoch was fated as 2022, the year that the new group known as Crew of New Orleans Orpheus, the wife of Murdoch's husband Ingrid, was actually standing next to him. On the other hand, their admirers see them perform live. It was witnessed by many visit the Smashing Pumpkins' updated New Orleans performance. The following day, Mrs. Instagram was Murdoch's platform for sharing how her spouse became popular with many. She's been pleased with the conversation, albeit I gave in, and that it complicates plans for romantic evenings spending time with loved ones. Moreover, she accompanied he will be touring with just Tyrus, autobiography, and his comedic work that year's tour. Ernest Murdochie's equally committed to keeping their word off during challenging times, particularly when adversity strikes them. In the year 2019, the sexual harassment that Murdoch endured by his ex-girlfriend Britt McHenry colleague on the Fox News team. British national Brittany accused him of apparently sending a string of sexually explicit text messages. According to Fox News, they examined the situation and found a solution information, but word got out that McHenry commenced legal proceedings on December 10, 2019 on behalf of Fox News and Murdoch. Afterwards, the case was dismissed with an secret agreement reached 2 years later, notwithstanding McHenry's assertion that she somehow failed Tomobile device that stored all the explicit reports that she received communications from Murdoch. This had an immediate impact on Murdoch's bothering them and their loved ones, and in December of 2022, his wife dropped a bombshell about the entire disaster. The ordeal I family has gone through in the last year is excessively too much to even mention, she penned. However, only item that transpired was that my spouse evolved into a more powerful figurehead for his loved ones. His response to my deterioration was to repeatedly dispatch me beside our princess in search of some enchanted healing. Given that Ingrid Murdoch claims already has a lot on her plate at work, spouse, and in your role as a parent, hold off until you find out about her other endeavors assigned domestic duties. Recall that in the past, Murdoch has used his espouse from the beginning of time. He was proclaimed her to be the ruler of his small wild realm, which he relished referring to as his zoo from Tirazilla. When you consider the large owns no pets other than dogs or cats, I disagree with you 100%. The ex-WWE animal lover brags about their exotic animals, such as snakes, fish, amphibians, reptiles, and chameleons, among others, the first time Ingrid Murdoch revealed her views throughout the program, stating that in general, she had a strong aversion to animals and snakes, but she's prepared to do everything for the man she loves to go the extra mile, and has recently taken on a way of thinking. From my perspective, it seemed to be simply that I despise the individuals even more than the creatures, she freely confessed. Even though she has no interest in animals, deliberated and ultimately chose to started caring for animals at their house. She was instrumental in bringing about substantial enhancements to their pets' quality of life conditions. One thing was that she could hear the thunderstorms rumbling through the night to promote mating among animals by claiming that saw it mentioned online. Additionally, her came to the realization in due course that handling no kidding. Taking care of animals isn't that taxing with her authoritarian style of leadership around and completed the task at hand. With her someone to lend a helping hand all of her relatives, including their offspring, Georgie, their daughter, overseas. Interacting with the animals and giving them baths. Cleaning up after her is her son Rhett, manual labor, and other physical tasks. As the enclosures are checked by the girlfriend, everything is neat and tidy in the tanks and cages. In terms of her spouse, who is ecstatic over her ability to manage, stating theta thousand-fold improvement in her health as a result of her really well in terms of pet care while he attended to his emotional well-being. After considering everything, it is safe to say that I must say, Ingrid Murdoch is absolutely extraordinary woman. As previously stated, they are parents of a daughter and 2 or 3 additional children from their formerly partnered with. In that case, tell me their name. First, we will meet Georgie Rose. Her character is the kid they had together, who they warmly received 5th of May 2014. Murdoch inspired her name, and she was grown up in the state of Louisiana prior to located to New Jersey about a year ago. She did also got a pair of athletic pants from her dad and has started riding horses. On top of that, loves riding her horse, Roosevelt. They were given the name Teddy in the year 2024. She competed in her inaugural race in June of 2024. Competed in horse riding events and emerged triumphant. In addition to riding horses, Georgie likes soccer as well, although the rest of Murdoch's children are their own sports. He watches as his kid participates in journeys in baseball, as his alternate golf has become her favorite sport. Murdoch also had multiple other women before Georgie. Biological offspring, 2 sons and daughters, who he fathered playfully summons Cockroach to appear on Instagram celebrated its 13th birthday last year. His 2 kids, who came into this world in July and December of 2011 accounted for 14 on the other side. He has been vocal about his views. Murdoch prefers to maintain a close when discussing issues pertaining to one's family, to his children in particular. As he reflected on his life story, he avoided speaking about his children, claiming that they have tales to share. By the way, he's doing adequately understands that his children might have inquiries could harbor resentment toward him in the future. His decision as a father was to explain everything to them upon receipt of better age. However, he did mention that he received poor parenting from while he was a kid. His parents, according to a retired wrestler, that's not an rationale for his decision-making in the past then. Murdoch tries his utmost to him whenever possible and freely admits his heartbreaking farewells. He claims, omits them without fail. In contrast of his spouse, Ingrid Murdoch, who possesses two boys, Rhett and Rock, who Murdoch also cares for. Even though Hayes fond of shielding them from overly nosy Pleto the public's perception, Murdoch continues to bringing his kids to a stand-up light-hearted comedy. After his wrestling career came to an end by 2023, he had done it with a cheerful spirit, given that he has previously indicated an interest in visit his kids more often. He came clean during his interview with Sage Steele once, inquiring as to whether or not his children hoped he would come to their games or his wrestling career instead. My offspring staring directly at me and proclaimed, that was the end of it. No, we want you at the games. That concluded the matter. Murdoch freely handed over began wrestling, and much to his fortune, the chance presented up for him without difficulty. Murdoch, like any parent, opens out about his ongoing journey of becoming a father. However, his commitment is to steadfastly support his offspring. I am add. He's also rather proud of the fact that his kids pick up new skills more quickly than he does who did it, and whose daughters are not as bright as he is. He made an appearance on the previous year. Piers Morgan was uncensored. He revealed the details of his child's connects with others who identify as LGBT and in particular, transgender people. According to him, is while developing and experiencing treatment, asserting his availability to do as she pleases. Regardless of what yearns for when the sun goes down, and she's when I'm of legal age to do so, he'll remain at her side, Murdoch stated. Regarding his daughter, he, she, or it doesn't matter aspiring young person.